Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. I appreciate all of your support. The new videos are up over on the Patreon page if you'd like. If those of you that are interested in supporting the daily forecast through a monthly subscription, feel free to go over to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist. There's different subscription levels there. And you can get things like readings that are only available over there, charmings during the month here on the channel, and all sorts of stuff. If you aren't interested in the subscription but you do want to support the channel, please like the video, just give it a thumbs up, and share it out if you want. That would be great. Or subscribe even to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. And those are all ways of supporting the channel. So let's get into today's energy. Today's the forecast for Tuesday the 4th. It is not necessarily only set for that day. I do believe that it's a timeless message. So therefore, when the message finds you is when it's most appropriate. Or at least that's my intention with these messages for daily. They're for the greater collective, for the highest good. So I believe that they're always, timeless, right? If it's for your highest good, whenever you find it, then it's to be trusted. It is a broad spectrum reading, so you have to choose where it fits in your life, if it fits at all. If it doesn't fit or it doesn't make sense, that's completely fine and acceptable. Don't worry, nothing is wrong, okay? So let's get into Tuesday the 4th and see what's going on. We're in all of this juicy Leo energy right now. Mars in Aries, which that's a lot of fire going on in its home sign of Aries for the next 6 months. So I think, August might turn out to be a little bit of a productive month, I'm hoping. We'll see what the cards say for today. And one more shuffle. Okay. Oh, that was a last minute decision. Alright, what is this? Well, this is the Five of Swords. Oh, there is a V in there. I couldn't really see it. Is that good? That's framed. Sorry, it seems so dark in here. I don't know why. The sun's out. It's strange to me. It used to be so much brighter. Or, I don't know. I hope that you guys can see this card. So this is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is always kind of this challenge in a way to me. It's not the most easiest of cards. It's sort of that idea that we need to kind of combat others around us with our own thoughts. There can be some sort of competition, rivalry, just sort of a need to maybe push our own way of thinking onto others, or others might be trying to push it onto us. It's sort of like trying to stand firm in what it is we believe, or what it is, how we think a certain thing should be. It's not always sort of like, it could mean sort of arguments and fights, defending our position, our sort of intellectual position, or our thoughts. It's sort of not always the most positive argument, though. Does that make sense? Like, even though maybe we've proven ourselves or gotten our point across, we kind of do it at a loss to a degree, or at a and part of the reason why I feel this way is I'm looking at this crow and he's holding two swords, but he maybe had to sacrifice a few swords along the way to get where he's going. The one thing I do want to say about this, and I do feel like there is this heading towards the future with these two crows flying off to the future, and also this crow's wing is sort of pointing into the future too, similar to that Queen of Swords that we saw in the beginning of the week. We're still on Tuesday, so this could still have some of that Queen of Swords underneath, that energy of maybe being clear on what we know to be true and having to state that, or stand firm in that, and maybe having to fight for that a little bit, or feel like we have to stick our feet into the mud. Maybe we're not actually fighting with a specific person or situation, but we might feel like we're struggling a little bit, right? And we're struggling in a way where, like this little, like if you see this crow here laying on his back, do you see him down there above that sword? To me, there's a little bit of defeat in him. There might be, some of us might be tired. It's been a little bit of a journey, right? But I feel like we're empowered by that Queen of Swords energy underneath this. So we have to remember we do have that nurturing side to this. There is this opportunity to sort of stay clear in our thoughts, even if we have to maybe fight or struggle a little bit to keep hold of them, to our truths, right? We might have to sort of let go of certain things, or be willing to let go of things. There is sort of this like kind of loss that takes place with the Five of Swords that isn't necessarily always the best, but it brings about, fives to me always bring about the significance of change, right? And the opportunity for change. And when I look at these two crows that are flying in the skyline out to the future, to me, I also see this cloud cover, right? And so it looks like this is also maybe sort of dissipating and becoming clearer. We might be becoming clearer on who our friends and enemies are, or who is supportive of us in a authentic and genuine way, and who is not, right? I think that ultimately what this card presents is this opportunity for finding our own clarity and standing in that, holding true to that, even if we have to sort of struggle with that a little bit, or feel some sadness around that, feel a little bit of frustration with that. I get a good feeling from this card in the sense that this could be something as simple as some of us might just find ourselves in stupid arguments today, right? But this could also be, and we're just sort of defending our position, because we have that Queen of Swords underneath this, which is a very clear and defined position, but she tends to be a little bit more nurturing than this Five of Swords would be. But I do feel like we want to nurture ourselves amidst all of this, especially with that Queen of Cups energy from yesterday. There's not always, like, I almost want to say when I'm looking at this card, like, sometimes things don't necessarily always have to be defended. We sometimes need a reminder, or be made aware that sometimes all we need to convince is ourselves, and maybe not focus on others. That might make this card a little bit easier for any of you that might feel like you're struggling with outside influences, or people that maybe aren't seeing things the same way as you are, or believing in you, or they may be posing a challenge to what you know to be true for yourself, questioning your sort of reality. I almost feel like maybe we need to sort of, like, I would take this card and utilize it as a warning that maybe today communication could be off, struggles could be around us. Are they worth the fight? That's the question to me. Is it worth losing the Three Swords, right? To hold on to the two that he has there. I feel like we can still look at this future. We can still move towards this future, these ideas, this clarity, because we have that Queen of Swords underneath this card. So I feel like we have a clear idea of maybe what it is we want, or how it is we want to get there. And even if our outside environment is telling us we can't, there's an opportunity, instead of struggling against it, to maybe align ourselves with it. If today is a little bit harder than normal, that's okay. That's this Five of Swords energy. Allow it to take place. We don't have to necessarily engage it. We can acknowledge it. If, like I said, with this tired bird, or this bird that's resting here, he might even be defeated in battle. If some of you are feeling like this bird, feeling a little bit beleaguered, that's okay. Give yourself some time to maybe rest. All right, so let's see what the Angels and Ancestors deck has to say. Okay, so this is the Magic Guardian. I kind of love her. I love that she's holding that flame in that dish. Very much like, to me, Leonine energy. I love that also she has that heart on her chest there. Do you see that on her, embroidered on that little piece of her dress? To me, that's also Leo energy. I love that her wings are sort of lit up like fire in a way. Magic Guardian, I'm sorry, it says, unlock the magic within. So to me, when I think about unlocking the magic within, this is sort of the truth that we had in that Queen of Swords. This is the truth, the sort of emotional abundance that we had in the Queen of Cups from yesterday. This magic within is what is our truth? What is our knowing? And if we look at this light above this Magic Guardians, head at her seventh chakra, which is our where our claircognizance resides, our knowing, our clear knowing, right? What do we know to be our truth? Within that truth is our own personal magic, right? Do we need to prove that? Do we need to like show that light to others or allow others to sort of, I almost want to say like either challenge that light, try and change that light? Do we need to sort of, because I feel like there could be this slight struggle between these two cards today. One feels like this Five of Swords feels like we want to prove ourselves or what we know to be true. Um, and it just almost feels like we're spinning our wheels, or at least that's the sort of mental picture that I'm seeing in my mind's eye as I'm looking at this card, is we could potentially spin our wheels today. Magic Guardian swings in, and I really feel like she says, bring it back to this heart-centered place. Bring yourself back to unlocking this magic that is within you, which is your own truth, your own awareness. She stares at us straight on, right? Face first, like looking straight at us. So this is us looking straight at ourselves, not worrying maybe about what the outside influences have to say, what those interactions may bring. We may even want to go into sort of, this is similar to like a Four of Swords pose of that going inward and hiding out for a day. Some of us may want to do that today. In doing that, we kind of center ourselves in who we are and the magic that exists within us, the light that dwells within us, placing that light in our heart, knowing that to be true, allowing that to be our knowing, right? Operating from that place of the higher self or the seventh chakra, and allowing that to be our guide versus getting into the day-to-day sort of arguments. So let me read this Five of Swords to you really quick. Let me find it one moment. Swords. Okay. Five. Okay. The victorious crow holds the swords of those he defeated. It was a hard battle, and the result may on the surface look positive, but may in the end lead to loneliness and despair. The Five of Swords denotes a hard-fought battle that you won, but the cost may end up being higher than expected. It could be a loss of friendship at the expense of being right, or a conflict that will leave you feeling isolated. So that could be the crow laying on his back, right? And then the Magic Guardian, let me find her. Magic Guardian, page 106. Oops, sorry, one moment. So Magic Guardian is, the message is stop looking outside yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. Magic is the energy of the universe that allows you to manifest and create through the direction and power of your will. It changes according to your frequency. The Magic Guardian is a representation of the angel of magic who helps you direct your will to bring something into creation. She is the angel who swirls around shamans and wise ones when they are calling on the energy of magic to help them manifest something that will be healing and supportive of their path. She is the angel of all magic that is directed for the highest good of whoever is working with it. The extended message is if you are the magic, you are the answer, you have it all within you. If you've been searching for an answer or a reason to focus, recognize that all that you are looking for is already within you. You are a powerful and magical person with the capacity to direct your intentions and will your desires into being. But your power can only be powerful when you own it. So take time to acknowledge it. Your ability to dedicate yourself to a goal and make it happen is a real gift that you are being guided to recognize now. So if there's some sort of internal struggle mentally going on today, be aware of that. If you're focusing on more negative energies or influences that might be causing you stress or discord, you might want to pull back and focus, bring the focus back to yourself and what you know to be true. The Magic Guardian to me feels very strong, right? She feels very centered and aware. She may not be sort of the loudest voice, right? But if we listen for her, if we find her, if we return our energy towards our hearts and the light that lies within, I think that she can burn away some of the confusion that might come with the Five of Swords, this conflicty energy that I'm feeling with the Five of Swords. Now let's look to the grounding stone and see what that says for us today. What do we need to ground in? Okay, so this is success. I like this stone. I think this is a great stone to have, especially when we have sort of these kind of conflicting energies in a way. I feel like the Five of Swords is a little bit struggle bus. I feel like the Magic Guardian is actually very strong as long as we listen to her and we give her an ear and we trust this aspect of ourselves, that we need to maybe not allow the conscious mind to kind of trip us up. Or other people's conscious minds, their awareness, their sort of perceptions of who we are or how we should do something. If that's going on for us too, we need to kind of let that go and maybe not engage today. Put the the focus more on ourselves and kind of keep this idea of success. Remember that underpinning stone for the entirety of the week is the vision, right? The vision stone. So where do we see ourselves? What is it that we want? And how do we want to go about creating it? This Magic Guardian says to me that we have that power within us, right? That's what the reading just said, is this opportunity to like sort of take our own personal brand of magic and wield it in a way that can produce success for us. But we have to sort of maybe clear away any arguments in the mind or struggles that might be going on mentally for ourselves at this time. If that takes a day or two, so be it. That's okay. Allow yourself that time. I think that's also the Queen of Swords energy, which is about bringing that clarity to us. And then that Queen of Cups energy from yesterday, which is about bringing that sort of emotional stability and clarity also. So I think that we have really strong cards backing whatever this kind of refinement might be today that leads us to a better form of success, or the better opportunity to ground in the idea of having and attaining the success that we desire. And this success can be in a multitude of situations for whatever you may be dealing with, or wherever you might be feeling confusion or frustration, a struggle with this Five of Swords energy, right? I would definitely say that now would be the time to kind of acknowledge the struggle and then sort of, I almost want to say, find acceptance around it and stop like fighting with it, if that makes sense, and allow sort of like your own internal voice to come through. That would be this Magic Guardian, and allow her to sort of guide you through this process, whatever might be going on for you today. Remember too, we also go into that Pentacles energy. I believe we had the Knight of Pentacles in the midweek, which will be a productive yet and dedicated yet slower energy that starts to kick off, which could be some of this magic of the Magic Guardian, right? Starting to put some of this energy into actual viable action steps, albeit slow, but still productive and dedicated action steps. And then we follow that up with that Eight of Pentacles, which is all about kind of putting in the work and you know, working our way methodically towards the goal. So I think that maybe this Five of Swords is a blessing in a way, because it's an opportunity to kind of acknowledge areas that we don't necessarily feel content yet mentally, and this might be the day to smooth out those rough patches. We do so by concentrating on the Magic Guardian, our own internal light, our own internal knowing, and with a focus on this idea of success. Right, about the outcome being staying strong with the vision of what it is we want, and then, you know, believing that the success is out there for us and we can attain it as long as we listen to our truth. Right? All right, so that is your focus that is your reading for the day. I hope that made sense. Thank you so much. That is your focus for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow and seeing how this all builds. And have a great day. All right, I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.